Hey YouTube, Moose Cow here with our first recap video for our new game of Axis and Allies 1940. It's a 3-player game this time. Myself and Mike are the Allies. I am the US, China, France, and ANZAC, and Mike is the UK and Russia. Rick is the Axis, of course. Mike and Rick duked it out in Spain, and the Nationalists won the Spanish Civil War this time. So that's going to make things interesting. And as you can see, France fell. We did the Vichy France die rolling to determine what flipped to Vichy. So he got all of North Africa. He got French Equilateral Africa, which the British immediately took. And he got French Indochina, as well as Madagascar. So that's still free French, that's still free French, these two are still free French, Syria is still free French. But yeah, as you can see, so carrying on with our game, the Germans took out France and caused that domino effect. The Italians took out Greece at a heavy cost. The British Toronto raid did a pretty heavy damage to CZone 97, and then when he took that out, he had mass casualties. He bought that new destroyer, but aside from that, Italy is without an air force and without a significant navy. So that's not looking too good for Italy. Russia, backing up, we decided to, instead of doing a bid per se, we're going to incorporate 2 national objectives that Young Grasshopper came up with. So they're from cards from his second deck. I can't remember. I can't remember if it's Utah or Omaha deck. I always mix them up. But anyway, his second deck, there's this national objective. So once America's at war, they get 5 IPCs. And then we're also going to give another 5 IPCs for Russia, splitting up one national objective. Normally this is 1 national objective and they get 5 for having all 3 of these things, but now it's split up, so they get another 5. And we decided also, just for funsies, we went ahead and gave Russia a strategic bomber. Most of the time those are never bought until the end of the game, so I figured, they had bombers, why not just give them one, We have this huge behemoth that we never get to see in the sky, so I thought it was kind of cool to do that. It's the biggest bomber in the game, It can be a bit of a challenge to get up there. So yeah, so we got that strategic bomber. Russia lost some money in the funding the Republicans in the Spanish Civil War, but nothing as crazy as last time. So anyway, Mike is preparing for the inevitable Eastern Front at the moment. This is what he's done. He sent that sub all the way out from 127 all the way out there. Germany, of course, annexed Finland and took over Yugoslavia, annexed Bulgaria. I always like to share Bulgaria with the Italians, but that's just me. The UK took Persia. The UK, like I said, took French Equilateral Africa, moving their units up to Rhodesia. The Italians are doing their usual spread with a casualty here, if I recall correctly. And let's see, units moving up towards the Japanese. No J1 attacks. No, Japan has not declared war on any of the Western allies. So right now Japan is just focusing on China. Oh, I forgot to flip this. I always forget to flip something. And this one too. Oh, dang. So much on the board. Easy to overlook stuff, All right. So that happened. Russia's looking like this up here on this front. I think there's a mutual understanding between the two of them. America, not at war, is kind of rearranging things, building a aircraft carrier, as well as a battleship over here. Also, one more important thing. So America bought 2 tech tokens, but did not get a technology, but Russia bought a tech and immediately got one. So Russia has improved mechanized infantry. How much that'll help them out, time will tell. There's the income tracker right there. ANZAC doing their usual fortifications. The American fleet fled the Philippines, went down there. It just about covers what happened this turn. Convoy disruption in 106. We forgot to roll that, so Rick will roll for that with Mike before we resume tonight. And last but not least, that about covers the game. Here's what China's doing. Heavy on the Yunnan front. But one little thing, so normally, as you can see, this is my turn tracker. And it's just a painter stick with the die and some old roundels taped on there. And you move it along like that to signify what turn and what round it is. Well, with the addition of Spain, I don't have cardboard Spanish roundels to attach to that. And also, this is the out-of-box symbol, this is the out-of-box symbol. You know, it doesn't really match with what's on the board, right? And there aren't, as far as I know, there aren't cardboard versions of the fascist Italian symbol, nor the other ANZAC symbol. And if we had the BBR rule, I don't think there's cardboard versions of the Red Star version for Russia. And then here's my 42 tracker, same thing, you know, can't adjust it. So I came up with this. It's a magnetic turn tracker. So it's the same thing, but with a ferrous strip and then some extra roundels I had. Each one has a magnet on it, just like with my cigar box income tracker. My next goal is to try and get a metal D20 die, and that will hopefully stick on here, because there's been plenty of times where I've bumped this by accident. The die goes flying, and you're like, okay, we're 8 rounds in, right? Or are we 9? You know. So right now we're at the top of the second round, and then the also cool thing is, you know, you can rearrange it if you want. If the Republicans win, then you just throw that down there, you know, and voila. So that was my new little project that took me about 5 minutes to make. I just gotta get that metal die and see if that will work. And then if you know if you want to play the 42 setup, so I don't need these separate trackers anymore. Get those out of here. If you want to play with the 42 setup, well then it's just a matter of, you know, sliding all this over. I forget what it is exactly. You know, you could just easily make it like that. So yeah, that's the next little creative customization I just came up with. So, all right. Okay. Well, anyway, that is the beginning of our game. We'll resume tonight. Vichy France, or Free French rather. So, using the unit pool, this is what the Free French have to work with. They get to place 2 units per turn. I placed an artillery in Syria, and I placed a cruiser off the coast of French West Africa. So that's what we're doing, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see what comes of that. So anyway, until next time, I'll tune in with another recap vid later tonight. Take it easy, YouTube.